This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. I hold in my two hands here two bills from the state of Texas, the Senate in Texas. How long have I talked about the steady march of Christian nationalism in this country? And how many times have I said while talking about the steady march of Christian nationalism that when you hear Christian nationalism, you should, if it's not already there, insert white Christian nationalism. There's a plan underway to infiltrate the highest levels of our government, to rewrite education models in our country, to indoctrinate students, to violate the Constitution of the United States and its prohibition of Congress making a law with respect to adopting a national religion. And that is exactly what Texas is attempting to do. Passed by the Senate, these two bills. One relates to setting aside time for students and employees to pray. And the other requires that the 10 Commandments be on display, and if the school district doesn't have them on hand, the government will pay for them to be on display. I'm going to read just very briefly. This is the one that I think is more flagrant than the other. But let me read a couple paragraphs here from this. This is the one about the school prayer. Be it enacted by the legislature of the state of Texas, period of prayer and reading of Bible or other religious text. The board of trustees of a school district or governing body of an open enrollment charter school that is not operated by or affiliated with a religious organization may by record vote adopt a policy requiring every campus of the district or school to provide students and employees with an opportunity to participate in a period of prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious text on each school day, in accordance with this section. Why? To what end? For what purpose? No one is prohibited. When you're a student, I was a little right-wing evangelical troll in high school and praying all the time. No prohibition. If you want to privately take time in between classes, in class, to quietly meditate and pray, do your thing. Knock yourself out. No one's going to stop you. Why does the government need to step in and set aside that time for you? More troubling, though. By the way, this bill is Senate Bill number 1396. There will be a link to it in the description of this video. This is Senate Bill number 1515. Display of 10 Commandments. A public elementary or secondary school shall display in the writing of laws and in statutory language, like we're in the statuary hall where all the statues are. In statutory language, may and shall carry a lot of weight. They're two little words that mean vastly different things. May means, yeah, you can do that. You're allowed to, sure. Shall means you do it. You're gonna do it by law. You are compelled by law to do so. Let's get back to this. A public elementary or secondary school shall display in a conspicuous place in each classroom of the school a durable poster or framed copy of the 10 Commandments that meets the requirement of subsection B. Subsection B goes into, if you don't have it, the government will pay for it. Now we're getting into constitutional restrictive territory. And then what I found very strange, very telling, is that they chose the King James Version of the Christian Bible, that version of the 10 Commandments. They're very specific about what they are. It says the text of the poster or framed copy of the 10 Commandments described by subsection A must read as follows. The 10 Commandments. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make to thyself any graven images. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. So I guess there won't be any Saturday school. You've got to keep it holy. All these people, I'm assuming, don't work on the Sabbath, right? Anyway, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord has given thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And it goes through. But it's very interesting to me that the same party that doesn't want anything relative to sexual orientation talked about is willing to have this in a kindergarten classroom. Talking about adultery right there in front of people. What's adultery, teacher? Oh, that's when a man or a woman is engaged in sexual relations outside of their marriage. Oh no, this seems woke. This seems like we should ban it. But because it's the Christian Bible, it gets a pass. And what about Hindu children or Muslim children or atheist children, children who come from no faith tradition? They're forced to have this religious artifact in the classroom. This flies in the face of constitutionality. It is regressive. It is white Christian nationalism meant for a purpose of indoctrination, of propaganda, of just abject disrespect for the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. And the reason they're doing this comes in the wake of the 6-3 radical activist Supreme Court, this Donald Trump MAGA Supreme Court that ruled that the football coach taking part in prayer during a school event, during a football game, totally A-okay. They're taking advantage of the radical bent that our Supreme Court has taken. And they think it's going to fly. Obviously, this gets all the way through the Texas legislature. Greg Abbott's going to sign it. He has no regard for the Constitution, no regard for fairness, no regard for decency, for really any liberal democracy. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It just is. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. If you live in Texas, I'd really love to know. You can call or you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you're in Texas, you need to be at the state capitol. You need to be organized and active in pushing back against this encroachment, this violation of the Constitution of the United States. Follow me on social media. We can talk about it there. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I'd love to see you there. And if you appreciate what I do, if I bring you value, if this is information that you didn't know and now you do, please consider supporting, very minimally supporting my work. You can click the join button below for $2 a month. You can become a channel member, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to help support in a very small way that goes a long way to support what I do. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.